Hi, my name is Era. I'm 12 years old, and this is the story of how everything changed in our house. My daddy's name is Rayan, but people in our small town call him Lazy Rayan. I don't like it when they say that, but they're not wrong. Daddy doesn't work. He just sleeps a lot. He lies on the sofa from morning till night. He watches TV, eats whatever mummy cooks, and sometimes even shouts at the dog when it barks too loud. He had once been full of life, neighbors said. Once, he used to fix radios and clear gutters, help others build fences or paint rooms. But that version of my dad had disappeared. My mummy's name is Lena. She's the one who does everything. She wakes up early. She sweeps, cooks, washes, fetches water, goes to the market, and still finds time to hug me. She also cleans other people's houses to earn money for the family. She's like magic. But magic gets tired too. I always try to help. I sweep the small parts. I fold the clothes. I bring water in a bowl. But I'm small. I can't do much. Sometimes Mummy smiles and pats my head. She says, "You're my big helper," and that makes me happy. One day, everything changed. It was a hot morning. The sun was bright. Mummy was cooking something. I think it was yam porridge, and she suddenly fell, just like that. I was sweeping near the door. I dropped the broom and ran. "Mummy! Mummy!" I screamed. She didn't answer. I shook her arm. It felt cold. Her eyes were closed. She wasn't moving. I ran to the living room. Daddy was on the sofa, as usual, snoring. The TV was on, some loud football match. "Daddy! Daddy!" I shouted. "Mummy is not waking up." He turned slowly and said, "She's just tired. Let her sleep." "No, Daddy, she fell. She didn't lie down. She fell." He rubbed his eyes and stood up slowly, like a tree waking up after a long nap. When he came into the kitchen and saw Mummy on the floor, his face changed. He looked scared. He touched her forehead, then her hand. He said her name, Lena, Lena. But she didn't answer. Then he did something I never thought he would do. He picked her up and carried her to the bed. That day, Mummy didn't cook. She didn't wake up for a long time. She only opened her eyes a little in the evening and whispered, "Water." Daddy brought water in a cup. I brought her head up and helped her drink. He sat by the bed quietly. The TV was still on, but no one was watching. That night, I couldn't sleep. I took a piece of paper from my school book and wrote something. I don't remember all the words, but I remember how I felt. I was crying when I wrote it. It said, "Dear Daddy, I don't want Mummy to die. She is always working. You are always resting. I don't want to call you Lazy Rayan anymore. Please help Mummy. I can't cook. I'm just 12. Ira." I folded it and kept it on the table where he puts the TV remote. In the morning, I woke up and the TV wasn't on. I tiptoed to the living room. Daddy was sitting there, holding the letter. He looked at it for a long time. His eyes were red. He looked at me. Then he looked at the bedroom door. Without saying anything, he stood up and walked outside. I thought he went to buy bread, but he came back with a bucket of water. Then he started sweeping the house. I just stood there. I thought I was dreaming. Later that day, he said, "Era, stay with your mum. I'm going out." "Where to, Daddy?" I asked. "To find work." I didn't know what to say. He left. I went to look after Mummy. She smiled weakly and said, "You're my big helper." That made me cry again. Later in the evening, Daddy came back with bruises on his hands and dust on his clothes. He had carried blocks at a building site. He gave me a loaf of bread and a tomato. "I'll bring more tomorrow," he said. Every day after that, Daddy went to work. He'd wake up early, fetch water, even boil rice. He wasn't perfect, but he was trying. One day, I saw him kneeling by Mummy's bed. He held her hand and said, "Lena, I'm sorry. I've been a fool." She touched his face and smiled. I watched from the door. I didn't want to disturb them. Our house was still small. We were still poor, but it felt warmer, like love was living there now. One Sunday, I was in church with Mummy. She could walk again. The pastor said, "Miracles happen when hearts change." I looked at Daddy sitting beside us. He was holding Mummy's hand. That's when I knew the letter worked, and I never called him Lazy Rayen again. I just called him Dad.